It's a cool day here in Texas, and we're gearing up for Thanksgiving. And so this week I wanted to share with you some things about gratitude practices. So before learning about gratitude practices, I want you to know that I didn't always practice it well. I did what you were supposed to do on Thanksgiving. I had gratitude. I said I'm thankful for my family, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that. But it wasn't until a little later when I started understanding a little more about positive psychology. And yes, that is a panda on my head because, it sparks joy. It wasn't until I really started to look into the study of happiness and positive psychology that I realized just how important a gratitude practice is. And so this week on Making It Happen, my weekly video blog, I'm going to be sharing with you some ideas around gratitude so that you can have more gratitude in your life. And here's why, actually. So, genuine gratitude is actually the fastest path to the emotions of peacefulness and feeling like everything is okay and increasing your subjective well-being, which is what positive psychologists refer to as happiness. So, when we practice gratitude, it is impossible to be angry at the same time to really experience that gratitude. So just know that it's the fastest path to peaceful emotion. And the other thing that I find really helpful is when it comes to practicing gratitude, I use triggers. So at the end of every day, I have a journaling practice where I think of 3 things that I'm grateful for that day. And basically, I use the trigger of I'm getting ready for bed to help me to remember to do that. I also have just triggers of when I'm in my house or I'm walking into my son's rooms that I really just try to just take a second and be thankful and be grateful for what is going on in my life. So those are the use of triggers to just help you remember to be grateful. Because honestly, you can get really stuck in all the things and all the doing and all the action taking, and having triggers helps you remember so you don't have to add it to your to-do list. The other thing is if you find that your gratitude practice isn't really working anymore, there are things you can do. So if your gratitude practice isn't working anymore, the way you know is that you don't really get that feeling. You feel like you're kind of going through the motions with gratitude. So I would say that there are lots of things you can do. One of them is to really just get more present and get more in the moment. What are you happy about right now that you can be grateful for? My kids, when I ask them about gratitude and what they're grateful for, they tend to give me the default responses that they learned at school. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. And they kind of go through the script and routine. But when I ask them what's making them happy right now, it changes the game. Suddenly they're able to identify things and really experience it and be present to it. And, that takes me to my next point, which is that variety and gratitude matters. It turns out that when we have variety in what we're looking for to be grateful for, what happens is that we are basically making new neural pathways and making connections that we had not made previously. And when it comes to psychology, it turns out that it's the search for gratitude that matters more so than what you are actually grateful for. So, for example, in your life, the circumstances of your life can predict about 10% of your subjective well-being. Meanwhile, about 50% of it can be determined by your mindsets, your practices, and the things that you do intentionally and cultivate that affect your subjective well-being. How cool is that? So searching for a practice of gratitude is one of those really big ninja moves when it comes to happiness. And remember, it's the search. Even if you're having a hard time finding it, what makes the biggest difference is searching for that gratitude in an authentic kind of a way. So I hope that this was interesting to you, that you had another way to think about gratitude and how you can practice it more in your life. My name is Amanda Kaufman, and I'm a certified high performance coach, core energy coach, and a coach's coach. So if there's anything I could ever do for you, let me know. And otherwise, if this helped, share it. Share it with somebody who you think might really appreciate a conversation about gratitude. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you're here in the US, and if you're not, still have one. I hope you have a really wonderful week. Take care. Hey there, I hope you loved this week's episode of Making It Happen with Amanda Kaufman. It's my weekly video blog series where I share with you tips, tricks, tools, and strategies to help you make it happen in your own life. So if you want more great tips, be sure to check out my blog on amandakaufman.net. You can subscribe to have these video tips delivered to your inbox every week. And of course, if you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. I want to hear where you want more support in making it happen. So be sure to reply to any email, leave comments. I do respond. And of course, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube if that's more your jam. Very happy to see you each week. So take care and have a great one. We'll see you next week.